What are we going to do in today's episode? Well, today is Philosophy Day, and in today's episode, I will be talking about fully funded scholarship for masters and PhD in philosophy across universities in the US and Canada. So, if you have always had interest to study philosophy at the graduate level, buckle on your shoes and tighten your belt. This is for you. Hello, guys. Welcome again to this episode on Chrys-O, and I am happy to have you here. If you are a visiting viewer, welcome, and do not forget to like, to share, and to recommend to your friends. And for those of you who are returning viewers, as always, thank you very much. You are the reason I am here. Please do make sure to like my videos and give me a thumbs up. Yeah, without further ado, let's get down to business. So, okay, pardon my voice. I have cough, so my voice is a little bit cranky. In any ways, you can still hear me. Yeah. As a way of proceeding, I'll offer some tips to you, and then after that tips, and then I will discuss how to apply for this scholarship or these programs in philosophy, and then I will share with you the scholarships itself, the various schools that offer the scholarships. Without further ado, let's get into it. If you don't already know, I am a graduate student in philosophy and I won multiple awards to study the philosophy. So there are funding in philosophy, there are scholarships in philosophy. It is not a myth. Most times when I tell people that I am actually on a fully funded scholarship, they doubt me. So, I mean, where the heck can I get about how much thousands of dollars to study philosophy? Anyways, there are scholarships to study philosophy. If you want to take it, you go on and take it. I do advise you to take the opportunity. In any case, here are my suggestions if you want to go this journey, if you want to go this path or take this path. First and foremost, most if you are considering going to a graduate studies. I will advise you and encourage you to apply for PhD directly. There's no need to go for masters, especially in North America, where masters is not even required to study PhDs, to study doctoral degrees. So go straight. That is, if you have good grades and you know what you are doing in philosophy, you have a well-rounded background in philosophy. So why waste your time? Go straight. Because if you study masters and still want to go for PhD, you still start from beginning like as though you have no masters. You still start from the beginning with other people who do not have masters. And secondly, apply to mid-range schools. So philosophy in North America is ranked according to 3 tiers: top ranking research universities, mid-range, and then lower ranking schools. And prestige and ranking of a school is pretty a thing in North America. So I would advise you not to waste your time. If you're an international student, especially if you're an international student, not to waste your time with top ranking schools. So in order not to sound pessimistic though, you can as well try all the schools you can get application fee waiver from. Try all of them. So but I would ask you to focus on mid-range schools. And so yes, philosophy is highly competitive, and because funding is attached to admission, I think it makes it more competitive. So try your luck in any way. So anyways, apply for masters. I know I did say apply for PhD directly, but apply for masters if one, you have poor grades in your undergraduate program, your undergraduate studies, you have poor grades. Secondly, you do not have like full background or complete background in philosophy. Maybe you studied religious studies, theology, or other humanities program, but you want to study masters in at the graduate level, or you want to study philosophy at the graduate level. Instead of applying for the PhD, apply for the masters. Most masters are for people who are looking for foundational background in philosophy. So apply for the masters. And then thirdly, if you are an international student, apply for the masters. Well, like I said, philosophy programs in North America is highly competitive. So in order to stand a chance of making it into a top ranking PhD program or a good mid-range ranking PhD program, it is highly encouraged that you do a master's program in North America because it ushers you into the North American philosophy space. Yes, that is my 3 cents on applying to PhD, applying for graduate studies in philosophy in North America. Okay, having offered you my 3 cents on applying for graduate studies in philosophy in North America, here are the things that you need to have to apply to these programs. All the programs I'm going to list out today require these 5 things or 5 credentials or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to list them according to the order of importance. The first thing you need to have is writing sample. You need to have a good stellar academic writing, like your term paper during your undergraduate program. Furnish it, polish it, and give to many people to review for you. Secondly, academic references. You get 3 letters of academic references from your professors. They should write for you good letter, not just those kind of to whom it may concern kind of letter. I highly recommend this to them. No, they have to dive deeper and give you a what why to show that they actually know you and can attest to your academic pedigree. Thirdly, you need to have a statement of purpose. My next video will actually be on a statement of purpose, so chillax. Wait for my video on statement of purpose. Fourth, you need your transcript. Yes, you need your transcript. And alongside transcript, you have to have a CV. Most of these programs require you to have your CV. In your CV, you have to highlight your academic, preparations, your research experiences, the courses you've offered. You have to get all those things in, let them show on your CV. And then the fifth thing they would need from you is the online application form. Yes, that is that. Just these 5 things or these 5 category of things. That is what they need for you to apply. So, without further ado, here are the 5 schools I'll be discussing today with you that offer fully funded scholarship in philosophy. So, number 1 is University of British Columbia. It is in Canada. Secondly, Kent State University in the US. Thirdly, Texas State University, of course, in the US. Fourthly, University of Florida in the US. Fifthly, University of Toronto in Canada. So these 5 schools offer fully funded scholarship in philosophy at the master's and the PhD level altogether. So whichever one you want to apply, you should go on to apply. So let's start with University of British Columbia. Let us look at the money they offer, the amount of money they have for their graduate students. For master students, they said MA students are generally offered 2 years of fellowship funding, approximately $12,000 Canadian dollars per year, and a 1.0 full-time teaching assistantship. 1.0 full-time teaching assistantship is full-time teaching assistantship per term, which is valued at around 12,700 Canadian dollars per year. Altogether, for master students, this school offers 24,700 Canadian dollars annually in scholarship. And then for the PhD students, they offer 20,000 Canadian dollars per year and a full-time teaching assistantship valued at 12,700 Canadian dollars per year. Altogether, we have 32,700 per year. They also said this is what they give you in 4 years. However, if you want to extend your study to the 5th year, they can give you 23,000 Canadian dollars in the 5th year. They also have other kinds of funding. They have travel grant, which is valued at 1,500. So if you want to go for conferences or anything academic, they will give you 1,500. And they also have other kinds of scholarship. The Brian Lade Scholarship, which is valued at 7,500, which you are required to write a 7,500 words essay to get. So they have other kinds of scholarship at the department that you can win, other kinds of awards. That is that for the University of British Columbia. The second school is Kent State University in the US. So this school has only master's program, and here this is the money they have for their graduate students. Currently, the total financial aid award per student is approximately $27,000, which includes a $14,000 stipend, a full tuition waiver worth $12,000, a health insurance subsidy for students who do not otherwise have coverage, and workers' compensation. The tuition waiver is sufficient to cover up to 15 credit hours per semester. That is, the tuition fee they will give you is enough to cover your whole tuition for each term. So unlike Canadian university that you take out your tuition from the awards they give you, normally US university they cover tuition, and any award they give you is just for your living expenses and health insurance and the rest. So that is that for Kent State University in the US. So the third school we will be looking at in this video is Texas State University, the Department of Philosophy at Texas State University. Texas is a very warm state in the US, southern part of the US, so the weather is good. They don't used to have snow like Canada. So you will not have cough. So I highly encourage Texas State University because of the weather, and secondly and most importantly, the department in philosophy there is, their program is multidisciplinary. So they are strong in applied philosophy and ethics. And for many international students who don't know the analytic tradition that North America tilt towards to, this program will be a good leveling point for you, like we give you a soft landing into the US philosophy space, because philosophy in the US is done so differently from the rest of the world, of course, from especially Africa. So this program is very close to what we do in Africa, very multidisciplinary kind of philosophy, applied philosophy and ethics. So I highly recommend this program. So for funding information, this is what they are saying about funding. There are a limited number of instructional assistants, that is like teaching assistantships, instructional assistant positions for full-time students, 9 hours per semester, IAs typically assist the instructor of record in the large sections of philosophy and critical reasoning and ethics and society. These positions pay enough to cover tuition, fees, and some living expenses, giving satisfactory performance. IA positions are usually renewed. They have other kinds of smaller fundings and external awards that you can apply for. Like I said, this program is highly recommended for international students who are not aware of the analytic tradition of North American philosophy department. So I highly recommend it. The fourth school on our list is University of Florida. University of Florida is also in the US and they have good weather as well. So what is their funding like? So this is what they said about funding on their page. Funding is available in the form of teaching assistantships. You do not need to fill out any separate application form to be considered for a TA-ship. Every applicant is automatically considered for funding as a TA. Note that both MA and PhD students are eligible for and routinely funded by teaching assistantships. So, to cut the story short, both MA and PhD students would be given assistantships and teaching assistantships which is fully funded, covers your tuition, pays your health insurance, living expenses, etc. And the good thing is you don't need to apply for it separately. You are automatically considered for this award. And I must say, the other programs that I have listed, you don't also apply for the funding separately. It is automatic once you submit your applications to these schools. So the fifth and final school I'll be sharing with you in this episode is the University of Toronto in Ontario, Canada. So this program is one of the top ranking philosophy programs. So it is really difficult to get into them, but I will nonetheless advise you to apply, because they have this diversity thing that they want to make their philosophy department as diverse as possible. So they try to make effort to admit people from Africa, from Asia, from the other parts of the world. So you might benefit if you apply to this program. Yes, they are high ranking, but they also need they are also looking for diversity in their programs. So you might get lucky. What is their funding option like? Every full-time graduate student admitted to one of our programs is guaranteed financial assistance for the prescribed duration of the program. This support fully covers tuition, fees, and health insurance, as well as funds for living expenses. Domestic and international students have equal access to the full funding package. Students are also eligible for up to $1,600 per year in departmental travel funding to present their research at conference and at workshops. So yes, they have funding. Every year you can get up to 1,600 Canadian dollar for travel grants to go and present your papers at conferences and all that. So to go more detail, they said the Department of Philosophy provided 8,500 plus tuition and fees to masters and a minimum of 23,500 Canadian dollars plus tuition and fees to PhDs in 2021-2022. So in 2022 and 2023, academic year, they will be providing 20,000 for master's students and 25,000 for PhD students. And in the year you will be applying, should you want to apply, they will be giving to master's student $21,000, and then to the PhD student $26,000. This amount covers everything: your tuition, your fees, your health insurance, and your living expenses. They have other kinds of award here that you stand to benefit from a lot. So many awards, so you might as well give it a try. And then Ontario Graduate Scholarship, you remember I've mentioned this when I was looking at the fully funded program in McGill University for Political Science. So another thing I would like you to look at for this program is application fee waiver. This department can offer application fee waiver to you if you request. And here are the things, like I told you before, they are looking for diversity. And so if you belong to underrepresented groups are indigenous people, black people, LGBTQ plus people, you have significant mental or physical disability or other health concerns, you are a member of other racialized groups not aforementioned, or any combination of the above. So if you are underrepresented in any way, you can apply to get application fee waiver, and they will give you application fee waiver. So that is that for the University of Toronto Department of Philosophy. Okay guys, so if you want to apply for philosophy and you need funding, don't forget these schools: University of British Columbia, Kent State University, University of Florida, University of Toronto, and then Texas State University. All these schools offer you fully funded scholarship to study philosophy at the master's and the PhD level. Application fee can be waived in these schools. So now is the time for you to start preparing if you want to apply to them. Start, especially your writing sample, start crafting something, start drafting something. An application opens by September and then runs to January. So if you're interested, this is for you. And that is that for today. If you did like my video, please like my video and help me to recommend it to your friends. Make sure you like so that YouTube would always recommend it to others. And if you have any concerns, leave your concerns in the comment section below, and you can as well shoot me an email. My detail is on the description box below. Thank you very much. See you next week. Bye bye.